here we are, episode 32 of...
Not Another Parents Podcast. I know it's not. Not Another Couples Podcast.
Well done.
Know what it is.
Well done, you. It's a bit scorchy, isn't it? Here in southwest of London.
Not yet. It gets scorchier in the week, doesn't it?
It's 27 today. That's pretty scorchy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I've been inside the morning.
It's going to be hot, hot, hot.
Some like it hot.
India. Some Like It Hot. Wasn't that filmed in India?
Beautiful link.
Was that filmed in India?
No idea, actually.
Anyway, hot country. So, horrible, horrible tragedy last week. The Air India plane crash. I've been reading up a little bit about it because obviously you just get the whoof. But it was literally about a minute after takeoff. So there was two pilots, one who is 55 about to retire, and one 32 who's on his way up, but has flown quite a few hours. He's not like a rookie. But literally a minute after takeoff.
Was it mechanical error?
They don't know yet. They're still investigating.
Finding the black box.
They found them, but obviously it takes a while to
decipher it.
But because it was basically a massive fireball or some explosion, or not explosion, some sort of fire within the plane. So unfortunately, finding people is quite tricky and quite traumatic.
I think it was Boeing, when they were developing their planes, actually crashed planes into the desert to see which are the safest seats. Not that you really want to know that when you shouldn't be thinking like that when you get on a plane. But this guy that made it and survived.
So he was in seat 11A.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
That is the randomest thing. Out of the 200, I wrote it down actually because I forgot. 242 passengers, one survived, and crew, one survived.
And he's pretty much injury free, isn't he?
Yeah, I haven't read a lot about him. I just thought you'd have to make that your lucky number, wouldn't you? 11.
But also you've got, I don't know, I'm not religious, but
divine intervention of some kind for one
religion.
person. Not necessarily
what,
spiritual.
Would it turn you religious?
It doesn't have to be a religion.
If your whole family and everyone else dies on it, and you walk out the plane, I mean, one of my clients said, surely he's destined for. Maybe if you do believe in gods, then he's destined for higher things, for greater things. But that's a bit unfair on the other 200 and whatever.
41 people. Or
is it purely statistics and luck?
I reckon just a pure luck. I mean, it's quite incredible. But maybe the plane crashed. It crashed into a medical accommodation place. So it's all doctors' accommodation. So obviously more people have been killed who were in that building as well, on the ground, not just the people on the plane. So sorry to start on such a downer, but it's still quite important thing to talk about.
Safest way to travel by
I mean, statistically, how many, luckily, planes crash from accidental crashing?
Helicopters, lots.
Yeah, that's not the safe way to go, people. Unless you're Tom Cruise and you fly it yourself, and then at least you're in control of what's going on.
Oh, well, okay. I was going to buy a helicopter.
Were you? Well, now you're a club wanker, maybe.
Well, they do land in the club.
Tom Cruise has landed at your club.
The club.
The club.
Thank you.
Anyway, so that's just wanted to touch on that, but
it's quite a downer.
It is quite a downer. So I didn't want it to be a downer. I wanted it to be more like what do people think about the guy who survived? I mean, that's what we wanted to really focus a bit more on.
It's still a downer.
Sorry.
No, well, not sorry, but yeah, I know what, Yeah. But you do wonder when you see... I remember when I first set up the gym with Matt at Albemarle Street, and I came across this homeless guy who used to sleep under our stairs. We were in a basement, and he slept under these stairs on these really uncomfortable cobbles set into concrete. And he was an ex-English teacher, and he used to quote me Shakespeare. Not that I'd know, he could have been saying anything.
Sounded good anyway.
Sounded good, Macbeth. Yeah. And then his wife left him, and then he fell apart and turned into an alcoholic, lost his job, lost everything. And so it
is that sort of sliding doors moment sometimes, isn't it? It's how people deal with situations, or is it pure luck, or do people just make their own luck?
I think there's an element to being positive, isn't there? But yeah, there's certain positivity, and then when shit really hits the fan, it's like how you cope with it. Yeah,
because you could go one way or the other. It's like when something drastic happens or traumatic, you can either go into a little spiral of downward self-despair.
Half glass empty.
Half glass full.
Thank you. There we are.
Okay, let's move on to happier things. Sports Ziggy is lying on the floor just in front of
Very
us,
hot.
and she is very hot, and she's just lengthened her body even more just to keep cool. So lots of sports have happened this weekend, which is quite a lot to talk about, really. So
Yeah.
So we've got three big sports things to talk about.
Talking about my golf on Friday afternoon.
No, that doesn't count.
Oh.
So we had, in order, the US Open.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that first?
Well, that finished last, didn't it? That was amazing. Only one person under par. And
but the scores were ridiculous.
But I was speaking to Stephen Connor's dad, who's a big golfer, and he said it has happened before where everyone's been in pluses. Normally because of the weather, but this was because of the course. The rough was so thick you couldn't even see the ball.
Like a massive thick carpet.
Yeah, and they were just. But so the one.
And what was that massive bunker called? The church.
The church pews.
Pews.
But what? So they're all having a go at McIlroy. Someone smashed in a member's locker out of rage. But name me any other sport people don't lose it.
Yeah.
When like McIlroy hit one of the tee boxes or something, and he shouldn't do it, and he knows he shouldn't do it. But like, give him a break. Like tennis players smash their rackets, smash balls. And Flynn had a good point when we're playing golf. Like when you play golf and you play a bad shot, it's so frustrating. But you can't go up to the next ball and smack the crap out of it.
Yeah.
You have to still be controlled. Whereas in tennis, you might have the opportunity to unleash a massive forehand.
Yeah, or a serve or something.
And feel like you're getting some of that angst out. And I think with these guys, they're like, it's massive for them. It's what they've trained and lived for.
But that's part of their psychological training, isn't it? I expect they do a massive amount of that, of resetting before each shot, because it has to be so controlled and so precise.
I couldn't be a professional golfer. I'd be throwing clubs into the lake.
I'm very much more the Happy Gilmore set of just whacking things.
Have a beer every hole.
Whacking things. So US Open, we had the Premiership Rugby final.
I'm intrigued to know what the third is.
Which Flynn went to see.
Yeah. What's the third?
Just wait and find out, people. So that was Bath versus Leicester.
Yeah, and then Dan Cole, last game.
Yes.
Tom Young, sorry. Dan
Cole.
Dan Cole and Ben Young's last game for Leicester. Brilliant to make the final. Brilliant to be playing at Twickenham again. And then Dan Cole to get a yellow card and not finish his professional kit. Was it a yellow card? Not really. Should there have been leniency showed? I think so.
I just think because it's a final, a Premiership final, it wasn't just a normal.
But he
no
jumped.
match is ever a normal match, but you know what I mean. It was like such a big.
Even Ben Youngs was like, "Well, you should celebrate the fact that Dan Cole's actually chased down a kick." But whatever old he is now. But
So it looked like Bath were going to smash it, and then right at the end, Leicester sort of.
I do how he. It just puts such a negative Nelly on his end of his career, and he's done so much.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of chat on a podcast.
There is. They've already done a bit of a chat.
Because
I think they do a podcast together.
Him and Joe Marler.
Ben Young's.
Oh, okay. Do they?
Dan Cole. So he was
listen to other people's podcasts. We don't listen to our own.
I listen to that.
We don't.
David Walliams and
Matt Lucas.
Yes, called Acted Out, is it? And you get individuals in and they talk about making a film of their life. And they had that Ralph Spiel. How do you say? Spall.
Timothy Spall's son.
Yes. So Timothy Spall lost loads of weight.
Right.
And Ralph,
I think.
Ralph also lost loads of weight, which transformed his career, he said. But he still has a bit of a eating disorder and was talking about all the injections because a lot of them are on the Ozempic, was whatever it's called. So, but yeah.
Okay.
How did I get there? Sorry, yeah.
Do you want third sport?
Darts.
Soccer Aid.
Oh,
didn't we? We watched Soccer Aid, just the last bit of it, really.
20 minutes or something.
Which, you've got to highlight because whatever you think of the people playing or not or whatever, they raised over 15 million.
Did they?
From that match yesterday. And since 2006, when it was first started, they've raised over 121 million for UNICEF.
Out of my town.
That is incredible. So big shout out to Robbie Williams. I think it was one of the instigators of Set It All Up initially in 2006.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. And all the people who've put in their time. So what was the guy? Carlos Tevez.
Oh, Tevez, yeah.
He was. They were.
He was always the villain when he played.
It is supposed to be a charity, fun, entertaining match, and he was taking it very seriously because he's got the skills. He can do it. He's a footballer. Why not show you footballer? He scored tackle. Like 4 goals of the 5 that they ended up.
Big Zoo.
He
seems very
scored
happy.
the winner. He scored the winner. 5-4, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Suzie, what are you doing? She's a bit licky at the minute.
Yes.
A bit annoying and a bit licky.
Who is?
She is.
She is.
Ziggy's a bit licky. So what else has been happening? So another thing that you saw and you brought up in, I think, the Times, because through the Times, was about like the house prices.
Yeah, was it 80s?
So 1980 something.
The average house price was X amount times your salary, or the average salary. 3 times.
3 times. So say, yeah.
So now you got this right. You always play this game.
Yeah, I know. You always test me with things.
And now it's 9 times your salary.
9 times your salary to buy a
So
house.
there was a woman written about who earns 95 grand, but her parents still pay for her bills because most of that 95 grand is going on mortgage. It's mental.
It is mental. I remember on our old road.
It's chicken oriental.
Before we bought this property we're in now, our neighbours either side were like older couples who like bought their houses for like £4,000 or something. I think we'd bought ours for like 300 back then as well.
Yeah.
Compared to what they'd spent on theirs, like same house, exactly the same house. They bought it for 400, and now again it's probably tripled.
Mental.
Tripled.
So I don't know how you actually, unless mates of ours shared the mortgage when they first bought a house.
And that's a long time ago. So that's 30 years ago.
Well, I'm only
roughly,
21.
Isn't it? Got to be. When they had that flat. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, or you go in with a couple, but that's, But
that's what they were saying in that article, that a lot of parents are still able to help their children with property.
So they've got the equity in their house.
Because they didn't spend so much money on, and they've obviously, their wages have increased over their working life, but they've already bought their house for like 10
yes,
grand
Suzie, you're correct.
But they're poor.
I think you should become a politician.
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because I don't know anything about politics.
Perfect.
But I'm not saying they do, but they're so involved in like slagging each other off.
What would your...
They don't actually help anyone.
Okay. I mean, the Kingston councillors, they seem like a waste of space.
Well, we had many phone calls during lockdown. I had many phone calls with a certain person in the offices to get permission just to repoint our wall.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And I spoke to a human, which
worldwide. Trump talks about our wall still.
Which is quite a big thing.
Oh, did you?
I spoke to a human.
Was it a human in the right department, though?
No, but a human who was obviously working at home, because everybody's working at home. It was during lockdown. Or not lockdown, but like COVID times. And so he was obviously working from home in his little house somewhere.
Might have been a big
I don't know
house.
why he was in a little house, but he might have been. And he said, yes, that I'll put it through to the whatever department. I never heard anything. I did about 3 phone calls.
What a pointless...
Left messages.
It must be a horrible job to do.
It's like, come on, we're trying to do the right thing.
Well, I went to meet the councillor, didn't I, with a neighbour.
Yeah.
That was she was full of fluff. Oh, just...
Was that the woman who was visiting friends? Was that
no, that was a solicitor that I employed to try and speed it up, and then just paid money to lawyers. Never employ a lawyer.
So if you want to make money, be a lawyer, basically.
Yeah, we are.
Not that I'd want to do that either. What would you do if you weren't doing what you do now?
I think if I knew what I wanted to do when I was younger, I'd been a physio. But that's the kind of similar vein of business work. Stuntman. I wanted to be a stuntman when I was younger.
You want to be Evil
and my
Knievel.
dad went mental.
Evil Knievel.
So I did 4 of the qualifications, but not the 6. Like you had to like equestrian, swordsmanship.
What did you do then?
Karate, scuba diving, motorbike license. What was the 4th? Oh, being extremely good looking.
I'm not sure that's a criteria.
Okay, ginger.
On ginger, maybe. Specialist subject.
But then you had like swords.
Cross
oh, skydiving. I did the skydiving, but that was quite late. No, it wasn't sky. There was something else I did.
No, because you did
I did that skydiving late. There was something else. But yeah, there's 6 different skills.
You have to be able to do a cartwheel.
Oh, gymnastics. Gymnastics is definitely one.
Yeah, I know that is, but I don't know if you've done that at that point.
No, I could do a forward roll.
Grapevine.
Grapevine. Or the rope dance.
Maybe it was that.
Yeah. If there was a film based on just rope dancing, I could have been the stuntman. Because you can get a lot of friction.
Well, yours is an imaginary rope, so I don't quite know how you get friction
because
on an imaginary rope.
I'm a method actor, so I still get
Daniel
rope burns.
Day-Lewis.
I am Daniel. I'm the Daniel Day-Lewis of rope dancing. If you want someone to just replicate rope
There we
dance.
go. Put it out there.
Yeah.
To the casting directors worldwide.
I am
When
done
Tom
with this list.
next pops into the club on his
What have
helicopter.
I got? Grade 4, no, stage 4 diabetes.
Type 4.
Type 4.
I think they said grade 4, but it's type 4, isn't
Yeah.
it? Type 4 diabetes.
Nice.
Everybody's got a bit of diabetes. Just
Yeah, but it's
exaggerating
when you
the
start
truth.
believing your lies, that's when it
Yes,
gets
that's
trouble.
different. If you're just like making it up because you don't actually know and just having a laugh.
Belming.
It's not
How do we get onto a grade 4? No,
because you're just talking about being a stuntman.
Stuntman.
So,
I would have. Okay, over to you. What would you have done apart from porn?
Why would you say that?
Huh?
That's what you would wanted to have done, but you didn't have any pubes, so you couldn't.
You could have had
Although
Debbie.
everybody takes them off now, don't they?
Yeah, no one's got any hair anymore.
You would have been perfect.
Follicles are a thing of the past. So Debbie does Dallas. Susie
No.
does Surbiton. Susie sucks Surbiton. Sorry. Okay, over to you.
Your mother listens to this.
Sorry, Mummy. Mummy. I'm sorry. I'm just showing off in front of my friends.
Showing up in front of your non-existent friends in this
Come on
room.
then. What would you have been?
I got the stunt. I think the stunt thing.
No, you can't copy me.
I'm just saying. I think I would have been quite a good stunt person.
Right.
Apart from
Tough. I've taken that one.
Stuff.
I've taken that.
I think I would like to organise. Still something I'm quite good at doing. That is organising.
Event organizer.
Yeah. But fun events, not boring corporate like.
Why didn't you do that now?
Ones or anything.
Let's organise an
bloody
event.
am. Did it for you, really?
Hey.
Events.
Back off.
Daily events.
Calm
I do
down.
daily events for this family event organizer.
Okay.
I'd like to be a host, compere host. These are all things I'd like to still do. Not about cause that's pretty much what I'm doing now. But I don't know, something completely different to what I do. It doesn't involve talking for a living, maybe.
Underwater then.
Rude. That's why I don't like scuba diving.
Because you can't talk.
You can, just with your fingers.
Oh yes, that's not talking, Susie. That's signing.
Signing.
See.
I don't know. I was still
What
always
about
wanting to
something
be a
arty?
professional. Yeah, maybe creative.
I could see myself as a potter.
We just want to be Patrick Swayze and Ghost.
Yes. I did make a swan, which my parents kept and hid.
Have they still got it?
No, he was boss-eyed. He wasn't well.
Why did they get rid of it then?
I
It's
think.
like the one and only thing they kept.
How dare you?
Oh no, what was the other thing that your house painting, drawing?
Very good. But the art teacher
Did
did
you
that
do
for
art O level?
me.
Did you
No.
just
No.
do it first 2 years or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know when that was.
Or
No,
just
it is.
at secondary school.
Yes. I think we did a bit, but I didn't do O level. Because
Mm.
friends got like art A level
History
and
of
then
art.
history of art and more history of art. I got like 3 A levels all to do with art.
They still do history of art. I don't think they do at school.
We'll find out.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would have liked to be. They say the only people who are truly happy are people that work with their hands.
I think you would have been like, well, you did sort of doing your landscaping.
Landscaping I still love, yeah.
The landscaping, or you could be like your mate Simon, do wood
Wood turning.
But
But that was less skill than a
He's
wood joiner.
more-
He's not a joiner. What is he?
master craftsman.
Yeah, but
I'm just making that
it's
up. I
not
don't know.
called carpentry. It's called. Is he a joiner?
He's a joiner's like
Is it?
the next level up.
Oh, he's
I
a
think.
furniture maker, really.
He's a furniture designer and maker.
He is. He won Young
designs,
Furniture Maker of the Year.
even though he's
Even though
55
he
years
was.
old.
And he's
Well,
bald.
young, how old are the others then? They were like 90.
When the woman came out, I didn't realise it was adjudicator, and I was there. He somehow
course.
invited me. I went, I think you made a mistake here because it says young designer. She did laugh, and he didn't get it. So, oh no, he did. He got something, didn't he?
He won something. He won an award
Yes.
for young something, which was why it was funny, because it was like, you're not that young.
We used to call him FA Cup because he had big ears.
Still has the same ears.
They don't look
They
as big
haven't
now.
gone. Why?
I don't know.
Has his head
but-
grown into it? But your ears keep growing, don't they?
Yes, and when you die, your nails keep growing for a couple of days.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, you started it with a plane crash.
It doesn't
So
mean you have to continue.
okay,
How do you know that?
because it's a well-known fact, and your hair grows as well, just for like a couple of days. So fresh trim and all that.
Mm.
Would you get buried or cremated?
I think cremated
Yeah.
takes up less space.
Where would you want your ashes spread?
Less morbid, really. I don't know. Somewhere, well, a bit of everywhere, really. A bit in the mountains, a bit in the sea.
Well, where? What
Well,
mountains?
where we are in the mountains.
Where
we
specifically?
are.
The supermarket?
No, you muppet. Mountains, not
Well, give
in
me a
building.
mountain. Give me a name. Which one do you like?
Well, where we are.
Just
in
so
the
I know.
Alps.
Which mountain?
Well, the Avorias were all like
4 hours is an area,
Top
Susie.
of
We've
the
got to get more precise.
Ardent
So if you
list.
die
I don't
and
want
I
to
don't know,
Blanc or something, because that's
okay, it's
just
a bit too busy.
silly.
Okay,
And I haven't actually been up Mont Blanc,
true.
so it'd be completely.
You could do Nanto.
Nanto, or what was the other one? What's the thing you did 3 times with Barry? Valley Blanche.
Oh yeah.
In Chamonix.
Okay.
I don't know. Where would you? What would you do? Would you be buried, cremated?
Cremated.
Natural. You can be. They do these natural burial things now, don't they? In these like caskets in like the woodlands and stuff. So you're not like taking up. Cemetery.
So
space.
you're giving back to nature.
Yeah. So you could be a little compost.
I could be buried under a ginkgo.
Because you're ginkgo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maidenhair tree.
Okay. Do we have a Mark's bits this week?
Cortisol, stress.
Okay. So you're going to talk about me?
Well, you had a bit of a.
Didn't sleep again last night, people. What is that about?
Well, I think as you get
I'm
these
a bit
little
stressy.
Yeah, I think it's living with me.
Anxiety, people. It's menopause stuff.
It's
just ongoing saga of annoyance for me.
But you had anxiety before menopause.
No, but perimenopause can be 10 years.
Yeah, but you've had it for 20... I'm joking.
I've had it for 28 years. Just coincides with when I met you, 1997, August.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. It's fine before that.
Were you?
Yeah, absolutely fine.
So cortisol, stress.
Yes.
I was chatting to a client about it this morning, so that's what made me think about it. And he gets all these little niggles.
What, inflammatory?
Inflammatory.
Yes.
So he's pro-inflammatory.
Yes.
So cortisol is another marker for pro-inflammatory. So markers are not hungry in the morning, which I had for a bit. It's back now, which is good. Not hungry in the morning. Getting up for a pee, like 3 in the morning. Sleep is normally affected as well. And there's things like HRV and all of the other stuff.
HRV, please explain.
Heart rate variability.
Thank you. Don't be using all your acronyms. Can't even say it.
HRV, LOL.
What are the ones you don't know any of them. Can we go back to cortisol? Let's stay on track.
Sorry.
And you can go off.
So yes, how do you? And so people say, how do you control it? Obviously, things like alcohol increase it, smoking, all the usual crap foods and stuff.
Are some people prone to it more, or is it a lifestyle, or is it just a personality?
No, we should, in theory. I mean, it's natural to have cortisol rise early in the morning. So, but it should. What we don't want is this elevated cortisol all the time, because then everything's in this state of inflammation. So things like muscular inflammation, joint inflammation. Worst case is that inflammation in terms of going into kind of cardiac risk factors and all of that stuff if you're in a constant state of inflammation. So it's just trying to find things. And I found this harder as I've got older. I'm always thinking about the next fucking thing. Well, it gets me annoyed because I'm like, this is beautiful. Why aren't I'm walking the dogs and it's lovely. Like this morning, it's super quiet. I must do this, must do that, must do that.
I had that exact thought yesterday, like when we went to the club and I came.
Well, you didn't want to come because you were thinking about dinner.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I was already in a bit of a heightened state
of arousal.
So I was quite happy just sitting watching. I was like in a little mellow land just watching. But like when we and Amber had to walk around the other side of the clubhouse, this is the thing, old-fashioned clubhouses. The men's stuff is all like accessible. The women's you have to go round the back, under thing, through 15 code doors to get to it, to go for a wee. And there was all these people sitting out just in the sunshine, having their like rosé, chilling and chatting. And I was thinking, why don't we do that? We're just like, we're constantly like, I feel like we're always constantly picking up the pace of things. We're never generally in this house. I think there's always someone doing something in a time zone. No, not just you.
It is normally me.
No, not just you. The kids have Flynn has quite a,
but that's not his school.
Weekend. Well, it is his choice to do what you did at the weekend. You don't have to do any of it at the weekend. True. I mean, school is different, but
I still find it very difficult. I couldn't just get up and go, I'll just sit and.
No, I don't mean necessarily that, but just I think we try and pack our day sometimes doing lovely things, but sometimes it's like less is more. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we've got to like take
lovely.
A step. Yeah, and I think because
Brunch
I was in a different state of mind to you guys. But even like going to brunch. So we get in there and the woman who checks us in goes, you've got an hour and 45. It's like, why are you telling us that?
But we did make a joke of it.
I know, but it's like, why would you even... why do we have to have everything? Like, we're just going to have brunch. We're not going to take more than an hour because we're just having brunch. We're not there all day.
I'm with you.
And she gave that... You know what I mean? Everybody's always on this crazy time schedule.
I'm with you, Suzie.
It's like...
So going back to it, it's finding these little segments for people, whether it's having a cup of tea and sitting in the garden and getting some natural light in the morning, or it's dogging, or it's exercise for some people. But as I said to this guy, he's like, oh, 2 of the sessions in the week are really quite easy. Brilliant. I don't want them to be another one that hikes up your cortisol.
Yeah.
So you've travelled all day. He works up north. He travels in the morning, works all day, and then trains in the evening. I'm like, we just go easy. We go super easy. Just nice, easy, low level. Enjoy it. Get a bit of a sweat going. Good sleep, and you're ready for the next day. And everyone's like, always, as you said, so finding these little windows of where you are actually. That's why meditation, yoga, everything's become so fashionable. And all it is, I mean, it's a big argument with smokers, because when they smoke, they actually take a long inhale and a long exhale.
And they take a break.
Yeah, they usually go outside now. They have to. And they go outside and they actually slow their breathing down, even though they're taking in smoke, nicotine, whatever. But so actually doing that, I mean, it's, not everyone's going to go out and sit cross-legged. It's a stress release
for people. You'll see people go out and it's almost like like Amber used to be with her dummies. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like she'd literally given her
crack cocaine.
You'd put a dummy in and she'd be having a massive fit, and she'd put it in, she'd literally almost her eyes would roll to the back of her head and just be oh, it's like she had a massive spliff or something.
So I think it's trying to find things, and it's very difficult because just when you sit down, especially as as a parent with young kids, you'll be then no chance. And I think finding something that's actually you can just go,
or just allowing time for that, not beating yourself up. I think not feeling guilty because you're not constantly doing stuff. And actually, interesting, I was talking to another client from the gym the other day.
Not a lady from the gym.
Not a lady from a client from our gym. And it was the same thing. She said, I'm constantly doing all this stuff. She said, I feel like that's come from her mother. Literally, it's like you were brought up in that constant, you've got to be doing something. You can't ever just sit and just chill, and you can't ever just be sitting. You've got to get up and you've got to do this stuff. And she said that's sort of inbuilt, and she's trying not to import that onto her kids. And I think I probably would say the same.
But I found myself in the garden the other day.
Trying not to, Emma's been home, and I'm trying not to go to her, right, well,
what are you doing today? What are you doing?
Can you do, I just go, look, if you've got time, can you... So it's like because I remember feeling, my mum would give me ironing and, stuff to do, which was fine because there's always stuff to do. But I used to resent her for that because all my mates were just out wanging around.
Wanging.
Or, you know what I mean? And I was stuck at home doing stuff because she was off wanging around.
But that's what annoyed you. But
but
the other good thing is you're very good at ironing now. And it does take me to one of my favourite jokes. Why do women have small feet?
You've said this already on the podcast, and we didn't laugh the first time.
I did.
No one did, actually. Okay. Pull my glasses up. So there we are. We're doing this on a slightly different day because we've got a little fun thing to do tomorrow, which we'll maybe talk about next week.
Yeah.
It's very fun, hopefully. Hopefully it's fun.
Golf?
Yes.
You
are obsessed with golf.
No, I'm not obsessed yet, but I do like it. But I can see why people get obsessed with it. So it was I
can see the enjoyment of being outside and the walking, but I could not play 18 holes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
you'd have to pay me an exorbitant amount of money to.
You're not very good
18.
yet. But when you start hitting good shots, who is
bored by 7th hole. Relevant
Alice
Cooper.
Playing. I think it's Alice Cooper who's a mad good golfer. He used to take heroin, and he says the closest thing to heroin is golf. When you play an amazing shot, he gets this amazing relief.
Well, that wouldn't happen to me.
No, we haven't done an amazing shot.
I do amazing shots all the time. How dare you?
4-iron.
A 4-iron, just rock up. I only need one club. I don't need a bag. I just need one
expect one of your vertebrae to pop when you swing a club. What? You what?
I thought you meant to your dad.
Your vertebrae.
Pop. I was like, what?
No, not pops. Because you're a little bit stiff. And when you do unleash hell on the ball, I'm frightened that you're either going to prolapse a disc or fart.
Don't judge
I'm worried about
me by your standards. Okay?
Okay.
I only need a forehand. I don't need all these bag of clubs and...
You need a whacker.
No, I don't even need that.
A whacker.
I don't need a whacker. Emma calls it a whacker, doesn't she?
You need a whacker.
She played with you yesterday a bit, didn't she?
Yeah, she enjoyed it. She got a bogey on a par 3.
The only bit that was a bit annoying, because it is a proper golf club, is you have to wear proper
But
stuff.
then we saw women and men...
No, but sleeveless is all right. They always have a collar.
Oh, do they?
All had a collars on.
Was that Jolly
And
Woman?
I remember that when we used to go to your parents' place in
Oh,
Florida, and I'd have to borrow some of your mum's stuff, which wasn't particularly my style at that time. And having to wear, like, 3/4 length trousers, because you weren't allowed to wear shorts above the knee. And I obviously didn't own anything like that.
No.
And a collared shirt.
Bikini. Yes, it is. It's still got that. And the demographics are quite white. Middle-aged.
Yeah, and I get it. Although that woman came out yesterday, I was really quite concerned for her driving back.
Do you think she was just jolly?
I don't know, because I watched her, because she was with all the rosé
Okay.
lot. She wasn't sitting with them, but she was standing talking to them. So whether she'd been sitting, I mean, she might have only had a glass.
She's just a jolly woman.
But
She was a jolly woman.
A little bit slurry.
And she was right. The greens were like lightning.
She was like, lightning. You're off to play. Yeah, we're off to play now.
Every sport has got their weird things, hasn't it?
I know. She was very jolly. Very jolly and very positive. She wasn't a negative.
She was a exactly. She was a bubbly Barbara,
we like that.
not a negative Nelly.
Slightly concerned for her driving her car home.
Yeah.
After being at the club,
isn't it?
On the rosé.
Excuse me.
So there we are. Have you got anything else to say?
Grand nuit. I've got a little frog in my throat.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, frog in French. And it's
Grand nuit.
Grand nuit.
I thought you said good night. A big night.
Gros bisou. You know what that is?
Yes.
What?
Kiss.
What kind of kiss?
Big kiss.
Yeah, baby. Let's finish on big kisses for everyone.
Gros bisou.
Gros bisou. Q and Q. I still can't do the difference between neck and arsehole. That's pretty much sums up my life.
Okay, we'll move that up tomorrow night, maybe.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.